Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to another End All Wars gameplay. We are, of course, playing as the Central Powers, and now, we probably aren't going to win the war, let's be honest. And right now, the French have actually gone to Metz, the place I didn't want to have to face them, but I knew was going to happen eventually. We're going to have to face them there. And here in Bastogne, one thing I want to do is stop Ruprecht's army almost immediately, because, let's be frank, these guys need reinforcement desperately. We're going to go ahead and build a depot in this area, and I'm going to try to put this guy on a different state. I don't want him to attack, so I'm actually going to put him on a defensive posture and actually a defend and retreat. So if he needs to retreat, he can go ahead and do that. As for these two guys, I want them to fight this French army here, but they haven't really done much. So we're going to put them on an attack stance. Hopefully we get a fight there. We could also try attacking the enemy, and I think we will, over here. We're going to keep moving forward. We're going to try to take out the enemy over here and meet up with Max von Hausen. I don't know how it's going to go, but I hope it goes well. And as for the Turkish front, or Turkish-Russian front, it's probably our best front, but it's kind of a bit too matter. We're taking a lot of cities, and we've basically taken a large percentage of Georgia, the modern-day country of Georgia, but we've got a lot of work to do. So I'm going to go and I'm going to consolidate our victories. I'm not just going to keep attacking like we've been doing on our other fronts. We're actually going to take these guys out and try and win here completely. So we're going to keep sieging this area, and I'll see how von Hindenburg is doing, pulling back towards the center of the country. I think that's probably a good idea. So we're here at Danzig, and yes, von Hindenburg is trying to get back to Danzig desperately. That kind of makes sense, and that's actually what I want him to do. I'm going to do the same with Bergmann. And with Bergmann, we're going to go ahead and try to get him back to Bromberg. Bromberg! That sounds like a good German name. Let's see. We'll put him on an attack status if he's able to. Apparently not. But I don't mind if he gets into a fight on the way. We'll try to actually use the train and get him there a lot faster. So let's hope this works, guys. And obviously we've got one army here. A lot of generals in this army. So we could actually start creating some stuff here in Danzig. I'm going to go ahead and take Kurt. We're going to try to make an army out of him. Where are you, Kurt? What the hell? Alright, I don't like this system. We're going to have to take out the troops first, and then slowly add the generals. Here we go. That'll work. Okay, so we're going to slowly create a little army here. We might as well. And maybe we can use this army to defend against the massive tide of Russians, because there's a lot of them, let's be honest here. Let me take Henrik von Pruben, and he's just going to become, like, I guess, a political faction here. It's very strange. Damn it. There he is. Okay, so there we go, 515, and that's actually a nice army. We could actually keep adding to this army. Let's go ahead. He's not... There we go. He's got a penalty now. It's acceptable. And I want to see if we can get Remus von Busch. Well, actually, I think this is a decent army being led by Remus von Busch. I'm going to keep these armies here to defend Danzig, just in case. And hopefully we can get back and defend the rest of the Reich. As you can see, the Russians are definitely in there and trying to take more and more territory. What I really want to see happen is the Battle of Metz. This is, of course, an area where we have a lot of men. The problem is, of course, not enough men, but I'm hoping that we can defend against a massive attack. There's not really much we can send here to assist Metz. I will try to send this nice little air balloon, but I don't think it's going to do much. And hopefully we can beat the enemy here, or at the very least cause severe casualties to the enemy. That's the best case scenario. I'm trying to get this guy to go there too, because let's be honest, the more people we have at Metz, the better. We really, really need to take that area back. Let's go ahead and jump into the political sphere and see if there's anything we can do. As you can see here, Italians still have not joined the enemy, and that's oh shit, the Italians are about to join the enemy. That's bad. So as you can see here, the Italians are about to join the enemy. The United States are the only ones that are still undecided. I mean, we could try to get the U.S. on our side, but it's going to take forever. It would be really awesome to get them on our side, but it's just not going to happen. So let's take a look here. So yes, the Italians have declared war, guys. This is unbelievable. This certainly makes it very hard for us to win, because... Let's be honest, they're right there on the Austro-Hungarian border, and they could cause a lot of problems. I don't see any generals, though. I wish we had some armies over here so we could actually take them out, but that's not going to be possible. Although, we do have some ships here we could use. Unfortunately, most of them are locked down. So I'm going to move to the Italian coast. I didn't want to use this ship, but just in case they've decided, this region cannot be entered this scenario. So maybe the Italians simply cannot be part of the scenario. That would be a little weird, but I'll accept it. And, of course, we can't forget about our front against the Romanians. Our Bulgarian generals are, of course, just now moving into Romania, and this is going to be a nasty fight, let's be honest with you. We did actually get to Bucharest, or Budapest, excuse me. We're not in Bulgaria, damn it. And I think we're going to go ahead and try and set up a defense here. We're obviously besieging this area, but we have no supplies at all. So if we could get a depot going, that would be awesome. If we can't, we've got to try to support this area. So that's why I'm moving this general up. Hopefully he'll be able to arrive here fairly soon. All right, guys, let's see what our decisions have done. Oh, before I forget, we'll see if we have any historical options here. No, damn it. So the Lenin thing is locked. That would really help us against the Russians. Everything is locked here. So far, I mean, there's really not much we could do. It would be really interesting to get one of these revolutions. Maybe, what would happen if we started the communist revolution right now and actually became, I guess, for temporarily, of course, until we were taken out, a minor communist state. I don't even know if that's possible, but we might try to change our government, just do something crazy and see what happens. I'll let you guys decide, because at this point I think, we're in a lot of trouble as is. I don't see us winning, so we could think of some interesting things to do in the meantime. Anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and end the turn, and let's see what happens. Alright, guys, we have started, and here we go. This is going to be the Battle of Metz. I'm almost certain they're going to try to attack. They have so many men here. I mean, if we can at least put up a glorious defeat, that might be something. But this is a fort, after all. I hope that our men actually put up a fight. Here we go. Okay, this is actually our men attacking the British. Let's hope we can make it through. A German defeat, sadly. Now, we did kill a number of the enemy here. It was actually British, but there was a lot of French in this army, and we killed 11,000. We only lost 2,000 here with Karl von Oven. He's going to have to leave, of course, and that's kind of upsetting. But, hey, at least we got one tiny positive here, I guess. A Turkish defeat at the Battle of Alexandria. Of course, we were trying to take the British port of Alexandria. We actually managed to kill a lot of them, and I think we can come back if we have time and take this area. I'm not too concerned about it. Now, this is our continued fight with the Japanese in Festun Tsingtao. We've actually managed to kill 10,000 of them, but they've killed 12,000 of our men. They're trying to desperately take back that area for the Japanese Empire, and I can't blame them. This is all happening on day one, by the way. So that's how much happened just on day one of that turn. A really crazy turn. And now, of course, we've got Albert. He's in the I almost said jungle. He's in the Ardennes, in the forest, and he could obviously attack us at any time and get a little bit of revenge, because we've beaten Albert's forces a number of times in this game. Here we go. Oh my goodness. We have more men here. We should win, but we haven't, and we've lost 30,000 in the Ardennes forest, guys. Remember, our men had very little supply here, and I'm guessing a lack of ammunition is one of the main factors here in our defeat. In fact, we'll take a look here just really quickly at the positives and negatives. So as you can see, their commanding officer led brilliantly, and Lord John P. French, they got a ton of bonuses just for the commanding officer. This guy's awesome. Very, very good attacker. We've beaten him before, but when he's got that many men, it's a lot harder to beat him. Come on, let's have the Battle of Metz, damn it. They have so many men there, it's ridiculous. So they've definitely taken back, I mean, they're trying to cut off our supply lines inside Belgium, and they've done this the entire time very effectively. That's what they're doing right now, and it's going to make it really hard for us. I'm almost thinking we should take our entire army, leave Belgium. I know it sounds crazy. Leave Belgium, go back to basically the center of Germany, go back to Berlin, and hold out and wait to just defend, because we know that the enemy's coming now, and what we have to do is hold them back. And I'm almost thinking maybe going back to the Ardennes, even forming a defensive line, is a better idea than staying in this country. Let's still win, men, for the Kaiser. We need a super weapon of some sort. Not the gas, it's worked, but not as effectively as we expected. We'll also take a look, guys, at the end here at the casualty count for both sides and see what's going on. It looks like our Austro-Hungarian force is almost entirely wiped out. It's non-existent, really. Still nothing happening in Metz, and I'm really hoping something happens. I don't want them to besiege us another turn. That's not going to be helpful. You know, if they just keep besieging us, we just keep losing supplies. I'd rather they try to attack in force and we lose and manage to take out a huge chunk of their army. That's the best case scenario, to be honest with you. Well, the best case scenario is holding Metz, but I don't think that's going to happen. Alright, here we go. Battle of Aachen and stalemate. Alright, so we finally got our guys to attack. 2 infantry divisions attacking each other, of course, and pretty moderate losses on each side. I sent this fleet out, but he really hasn't been attacking many of the British ships. I don't know if they just get away on time. He is on an offensive posture, but he just doesn't seem to like to attack much. And this general's trapped at Maubeuge. It's a problem. Alright, actually we got a victory at Port Said. It might not seem like a huge deal, but this is of course where the Suez Canal is. This is actually pretty good. It's not bad. Thankfully, finally, we caught up with some of the enemy ships and got a much-needed victory here at the Battle of the Southern Dogger Bank. But as far as I could tell, I mean, we still have 5 days to go, but it seems to me that nobody's going to attack Metz. I think they're just going to try to starve us out. It kind of makes sense, but we'll see. In fact, if I'm not crazy, I'm looking at Selmiel. They may have just left Metz. They may have sent a few of their armies through and just left it, didn't attack it at all. If that's the case, we're going to have to do some crazy movement next turn and chase those armies. Or, you know, maybe we don't chase them. I'm not sure. This is definitely very, very interesting what they've done here. Another huge battle in the Ardennes. And we will lose this one. They're getting reinforcements. And actually, sorry, this was at the forts of Liège. Some massive losses on each side. 28,000 for the French, or actually the French led by John D. French. And of course with John D. French, I mean, he's such a better commander than Rupert von Bayern. He's doing incredibly well. And I think that's the main reason why they're winning here. Yes, they outnumber us, but, you know, we were defending. We probably could have held that area. German defeat in Zardogg Bank. We haven't even lost anybody. Look, we haven't lost any ships, so we still get a defeat. So we've actually destroyed 2 of the enemy ships, but still, for some reason, this is a defeat. I'm not sure why. Alright, so they're definitely moving all the way to Frankfurt. We've got the French very close to Frankfurt now. We've got to do something about this. It looks like they've totally avoided Metz. And it makes sense. I mean, that place is very well defended, and they probably figured, it's better for us to just cut through and just ignore this area. I didn't even think that was a possibility. Alright, a Turkish victory. In fact, wow, that's amazing. We have absolutely no resources at all here. So I guess we're using bayonets. But we actually got a victory against Sir Charles Douglas. So if we can rebuild this army, we could eventually take Alexandria. It's not huge in terms of victory points, but it's something. We could use anything possible. There we go, guys. Wow, a lot of stuff has happened this turn, of course. So we did actually take Botosani back from the Romanians, but things are not looking great. We're going to go ahead and actually take a look at the total losses, etc., and see what's going on. So as you can see here, we have lost 2,415,201 men. We've got a number of prisoners, probably about 100,000, 110,000 altogether here, of Russians and French, British, etc. Over here, we've killed 1,351,000 of the Western Entente, 916,496 of the Eastern Entente. I mean, we've both lost a ton of men, but I would say that we have lost about 400,000 more than the enemy has. Of course, we have to keep in mind that a lot of the places that, that we have issues with, in this case, are not necessarily you know, we're working with a lot of different countries. Sorry, I was trying to make a point here, but then I looked at how many cities we don't have, and I'm like, no, this is bad, and it is. But basically, even though we have 400,000 more casualties than the enemy, there are a lot of countries fighting on our side. You have to consider, you know, we've got, of course, the Bulgarians, we've got the Austro-Hungarians, we've got the Germans. So it's all three taken together to really include that number, and the Turks. So that's interesting. But we have Constantinople, which is actually pretty good. That's a plus, but the enemy holds a lot of places here that we just aren't going to be able to get to. We have Wien, we have Budapest, which I'm amazed by. Eventually the Russians will be taking that, but interesting so far. Our current morale is 83, and our total victory points are 7,149. In fact, right now, technically, we have more victory points than the enemy does. And who knows? Maybe we can still win this thing. But we've got to do some major changes here. We've got to consolidate our fronts. Maybe we even need to give up Belgium. We need to just give it back to the French and form a better defensive line. I'm not sure. But the French being behind us is annoying. And actually, I'll show you guys what they've done here. We could take a look. So it looks like they're leaving Strasbourg and they're leaving Metz untouched. But as you can see, they moved these two generals into Saarbrücken. These guys are crazy. So we're definitely going to have to do something about this. But at the same time, if we leave this area, if we leave Metz to attack, they could just take it. So I'm not sure I want to do that either. I'll let you guys decide down below. Thank you for watching. Take care, and glory to the Central Powers. Try to retreat.